All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome into CCA. We've got a bit of a situation on our hands, as you might be able to tell from the screen right now. And, the fact we're starting 20 minutes after we were supposed to. Unfortunately, someone's fire alarm has gone off in their dorm, a situation that all college students can probably relate to. So there is, unfortunately, a forfeited match, but on the upside, we do have a sub coming in for UTK feeders, and we'll be giving you an exhibition match instead tonight as well. So, with all of that said, my name is Okamu. Tonight I'm joined by...
Hello everyone, Cygnus here. And yes, this is definitely an interesting situation. We have fire alarms happen. As you said, Okamu, college moment right there. Although, guess thankfully, question mark, this one wasn't at 2 a.m. like I've experienced in the past. Yeah,
right.
Here we go. UTK was able to get a substitute, and though this unfortunately had to be forfeited, as you said, Okamu, we are playing an exhibition set using the week 2 map list, so these teams can still get some practice in. Here we're seeing UTK feeders in the orange and Fanshawe fuel in the blue.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting off with a sploosh on the side of UTK feeders, which is not something we see all too often. Probably looking for some of these more aggressive, sneaky pushes, ratting it up in the enemy plat on museum, as we know those weapons like to do. Right here, as we're starting out, looks like we're just looking for this first push off with this cooler. But look at that. A wipe on the side of Fanshawe Fuel is going to go ahead and let UTK start scoring these clams.
Scoring right away. Really good aggression there. As I said, UTK cycling the members in. They do go a couple down, and their push will stop as they got it to 74. And Fanshawe is being quick to take space back. Already taking back a lot of mid, forcing a 3-down situation on the other side. They're definitely putting a fast response. Bodies are going down everywhere. We're playing 2v2 here. Fanshawe is going to take more pickups.
Yeah,
Genie putting in a lot of work as Dylan throws a Booyah Bomb and getting a pick with the main gun as he's falling for good measure. A really good response we're seeing from Fanshawe as they're hoping to put together a good push of their own now.
Yeah, what I really liked, what we saw there, was that wave breaker going out to clear out the plat for Fanshawe Fuel, then followed up as they started to get these pushes, get that pick on the uninkable. We saw that followed by a booyah and another wave breaker, and now they've finally got that basket open.
If Fanshawe does take the lead, and they do get past the important 60-point marker, which you really want to get on the first push of Clamblitz if you can. Both teams in the penalty fights are happening. We're playing 3v3. Koreki is engaging Siren right here around this plat. Now also skirmishing with Genie. Will take down Wormshot before finally going down to Genie, who deploys another Wavebreaker to support in the fight. Genie will pick up another KO. Will it be a third? Yes, it is. Before Genie eventually goes down, facing a 2v1 from the members of UTK feeders who have regrouped. Koreki now with this crowd tank causing some carnage of their own, getting yet another pick. Just bodies are going down everywhere this game. These teams are just fighting at such a fast pace so far in this game.
Yeah, you said it was a 2v2, but when you looked at that special economy, you could see that UTK had 2 of those specials online. That is a huge advantage. That crab trying to get some space for them onto this enemy plat. And we see the whale followed up by this pencil's pressure from that mid spinner. Such a great sight line. It looks like that this power clam is headed towards the basket. Maybe not.
And UTK,
there it goes.
They have a beacon set up on the enemy plat. They have their tactical. Unfortunately, a couple of their members go down. It looks like they're not going to be able to get much on this push, as it was just Koreki against the entirety of Fanshawe Fuel. So UTK is unfortunately not able to break through as much as they like, only getting a score to 67, and Genie is some strong defense. Once again, just trying to take down bodies of UTK, getting them to use up their tactical respawn before the team can fully regroup as a whole. As we see Dylan getting a pick here and getting ready to send the Booyah bomb in, targeting the opposing in power clam, and now takes down Koreki in the crab tank as well, along with another pick. Very nice work by Dylan here on this Forge Splattershot Pro that we're seeing.
Yeah, and we're still just able to get that clam put together. Not just one now, but two power clams as we're trying to get this push going onto the plat of UTK. But it looks like we had a bit of trouble. Two people go down. Crab online for UTK as well. This is going to be a rough push. And they're turning it around with two power clams of their own.
Kaze gets a nice pick here with three clams. UTK has the power clam in the back. Kaze does manage to get the trade onto Dylan with the triple splashdown. Such a good trading special. Unfortunately, UTK does lose another member, but both of their surviving members do have specials online. Unfortunately, Spec goes down before getting able to go in with the hammer while carrying the power clam. That is a big loss for UTK. The timer's going down, and the feeders are going to need to get another power clam together fast if they want to force overtime. Unfortunately, they go two members down. 2v2. Fanshawe still has the Booyah Bomb, and that is game. UTK just didn't have enough time to make that last power clam. And in this exhibition match, it is the Fanshawe Fuel in their technical CCA debut, taking game one.
Yeah, that was really good play that we saw there. And as you were saying, UTK really did need to get that power clam online. Just that one power clam scored at the end would have been able to flip that lead. The penalty was so low. But Fanshawe was able to just keep them locked on their plat, keep the clams away, and keep the paint in mid under control. I mean, we're seeing there some of these, this double from Dylan coming out here. Just really excellent play from Fanshawe starting out here.
Definitely, Dylan was able to make so many key plays, combining the Booyah Bomb and the cover it gives to take space and score some picks with the main weapon. We saw that multiple times in this game. Fanshawe also got some excellent defense from Genie on the order splat lane, also picking up a lot of key kills and keeping UTK staggered just enough to when it mattered most in the dying seconds of the game. The feeders just unfortunately were not able to get that last power clam together.
Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and move into map 2 here pretty soon. You said we're using the week 2 map list. I'm not quite sure what that second map is.
Yeah, looks like we are going to splat zones on Umami Ruins for this game too.
Oh, Zones Umami, that double zone map. Really going to give us a bit of a different option to see how these teams can adapt. Umami, of course, really needing that choke point to be under control in order for the lockout and the push to go forward. And similarly, when you're on defense, breaking that choke point is so important as well. Bit different from Museum Clams, where we have these multiple routes you can kind of sneak your way up onto the enemy plat in. So we're going to see if maybe this different style of map could give us a bit of a different scenario as we head forward. What do you think about Umami Zones?
Yeah, especially since the rework is definitely probably one of my favorite zones maps in the game. They did a really good job when they fixed the mid area, expanding the zones in just the right ways. I wonder if we're going to see Genie stick with the heavy splatling here. Setting up on those domes could be a spot. Heavy could be really oppressive from. But as you were saying, Okamu, there are some. This map does have the advantage of having multiple routes. You can't take in, which a backline will certainly have to watch out for. And also, we have just received news. The member of UTK feeders who is having the issue with the fire alarm going off is safe and back, and for the rest of this exhibition match, they will now be playing for UTK. Very
So
glad to hear that.
yeah, it's always good to hear that our players are safe and sound after scary incidents like that, even if it is just someone messing around in their dorm when they shouldn't be. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get them subbed in here pretty quickly and then move into our next match. All right. Yeah, I'm really interested to see if we'll see the same comps here. That sploosh was particularly interesting to me. That ability to move so freely is going to be perhaps limited as we move into umami zones here, where that choke is just so important. But match is starting, and we'll be able to see here in a second what they've got in store for us.
Look here on spot zones. We are seeing UTK coming in. I see an S blast now and a wiper, or certainly a different look. And Genie is switching off of that heavy splatling on the side of Fanshawe, now running the ZNF splat charger here, as both teams are getting ready and set for their openings. Immediately trading a member each right off the bat. But GD is able to get a nice pick on the spec. Another one goes down. That's a couple members of the feeders going down early already, we're seeing here.
Yeah, and I think something that's really interesting about Fanshawe's shifting comp here is with that ZNF charger, we now have 2 sets of strikes and a booyah along with this cooler from the zap. So there is a lot of displacement and a lot of paint coming out from the side of Fanshawe. It's going to be really helpful for them as they try to break that choke, which UTK is currently looking to hold as they move on the offense, especially with that wipeout.
Very well done by Koreki, moving up so aggressively, forcing the enemy all the way back to start. Although Fanshawe is able to recover, take 2 down of their own, and Dylan has the booyah bomb ready as they're waiting for the rest of their teammates to regroup in together. Especially now that they have their tactical online. Though they do now have a crab tank to contend with, and Koreki and Kaze both moving up together, just wreaking chaos as their timer's going down. It passed the 40 point mark. Kaze is able to live just a little bit longer before eventually going down to a suction bomb. But Koreki with the hammer facilitates for their team once again, moves in with teammates and gets another key wipeout and takes another down in a trade. Their timer is below 10 seconds, and Dylan is getting a lot of picks here, but it eventually just comes too late, unfortunately for Fanshawe, and UTK feeders take this game in swift fashion.
Yeah, I mean, you saw at the end there, that spawn was looking awfully orange for Fanshawe. And when you've got that kind of lockout going on Umami, it's just so brutal because not only do you have limited space to break out of your spawn, but then even once you've spent the resources to get back out of your spawn, you've got to farm them and spend them all again to break through that choke. And that is just something that Fanshawe was not quite able to do this time.
Yeah, certainly. And also look at this from UTK's perspective. This also must have been such a big boost on the mental side, getting their usual 4th player back in the form of can probably therefore run a comp they're probably overall more comfortable with it, and they showed so much more aggression right off the bat this time, and that was able to snowball into a knockout victory for them here.
Yeah, maybe looking for a bit of vengeance here in the exhibition match,
Yeah.
saying, we may have had to forfeit, but we're still here, we're still going to show up, and we're going to show you what we can do as a team. And I mean, that's the kind of competitive spirit that we love to see here.
For sure, exactly. And now in our next game, we're gonna be swapping modes again, going to tower control on a classic map mode combination, tower control at Mako Mart.
Classic indeed. I am a bit biased. I really love long range on this map. Um, but oh wow, looks like we're getting into it right away. Um, so fast, maybe we're not changing up comps much at all. We're gonna have to see. Um, but yeah, potentially keeping that Booyah and double strike set up on the side of Fanshawe to just make sure the tower's clear. We're gonna have to see.
When I saw it looks like Koreki has switched over to a Carbon Roller Deco, and Genie is going to the heavy Splatling Deco, bringing out the Kraken for tower control while still keeping their powerful backline option available as well. And immediately we see Genie getting a pick onto Koreki. Long range beats short range in this instance, though unfortunately Genie does get a bit overwhelmed as UTK is able to get three players up aggressively to take some bodies on the side of Fanshawe and get the first ride of the tower, as Kaze using this blast able to do a bit more damage and get the tower through checkpoint 1 as well.
Yeah, we really see three people stacking up on this left side to help get the tower through the checkpoint, while we have that shot on the right stack, making sure no one's coming through from right, using those strikes to clear out that snipe area and make sure the tower can keep moving forward with minimal interference. But of course, what's going to stop a Kraken? Evidently, UTK, as they managed to send everyone back to spawn.
It, yeah, the Kraken is the invincible Titan. Unfortunately, though, though, if you're still a bit far when you end it, you can be left very vulnerable when it ends, which looks like UTK was able to take advantage of. And on that push the score all the way down to 211. And now, now the ball is in Fanshawe's court as we look to see how they regroup from a really strong push from UTK, as we see Siren getting behind a couple of members. Does take down Spec. Unfortunately, not able to take down Yep. On those dualies, those dodge rolls provide just the amount of survivability needed for Yep to survive and be able to set up with this crab tank, but it will be attacked by Genie's Kraken. But once again, the vulnerability runs out in just the wrong place, unfortunately, allowing Yep to get that key pick onto Genie.
Yeah, we're only 2 minutes into the game at this point, and we've seen just a lot of fighting going on here. But if you're Fanshawe, this is definitely not the point where you give up. Mako Tower is so dependent on these first checkpoints. Once you get past that point, you can really start to snowball. And so that's what we're going to be looking for here if we're Fanshawe. But things are just not going their way right now, going 3 down once again, and we have the strikes up on the side of UTK as well.
Yeah, UTK's backless comp and pure aggression is so far working out really well for them against Fanshawe's more range-oriented comp with the Splatling and the Splatter Shot Pro. And UTK so far has been able to kind of overwhelm their opponent with constant fights. Once again, Fanshawe's 2 down, and Genie's having to retreat here from a constant hail of Booyah bombs. Burst bombs. My mistake. Coming their way as Genie is camping the jump with the Kraken, is able to take Yep down here and attacks back. Unfortunately, Koreki is able to get back and take the pick. UTK also having 2 specials at the ready as the Booyah bomb is coming out with the strikes also charged, and Koreki fighting near the enemy cooler as well, stopping them from getting that crucial boost.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing here is a really excellent display of the fact that when you are ahead in tower control, it is not necessarily just a sit back and let the tower stay in mid situation. The further you can push that tower, the more points that your opponent is going to have to chew through to get back into that position where they can contest the lead. And so by holding Fanshawe back all this time, UTK has given themselves so much time to work with, but going 2 down right here, we might see things start to flip.
And Genie is able to get the tower to checkpoint 1. Unfortunately, gonna have to retreat as as the feeders are closing in on them. Genie will go down, and Koreki will play around this side. This side, Warmurch is gonna try to space him out, check him down. But Koreki's able to use the ledge to their advantage to pick up another KO. This Carbon Roller has been devastating on this map. Though Dylan is ultimately able to take it down here. We're at 28 seconds left. The tower is still unclaimed. Fanshawe is able to get the trade here and take down Kaze. Kaze is 2v2. Fanshawe has a special in the advantage, and Dylan is able to get another pick, and Genie is getting to the tower with another Kraken. Kraken coming on, but bodies are just going down. Both teams close to full strength as Fanshawe is attempting to get through checkpoint 1 with the help of their other ink strikes. But they just barely pass it when UTK is able to finish them off and end the timer on this game. UTK up 2-1 in this exhibition.
Yeah, I mean, once again, just a really wonderful performance that we saw there from UTK, using that aggression to really just lock out Fanshawe from the objective at all. You know, how are you supposed to push what you can't even contest? It's a difficult problem. And
yeah, certainly. And with so much aggression, UTK was able to keep Fanshawe constantly on the back foot and constantly having to worry about the next fight, and barely having time to even worry about the objective because UTK was just constantly picking fights in their face, one after the other after another. I wonder if Fanshawe might have to make a comp adjustment here. Here, switch to some more fighting-oriented weapons as we head into Game 4 here coming up.
Yeah, it's interesting. We could see them lean into something a bit more fighting-oriented, try and meet UTK on their own terms. Maybe we'll see that's opposite approach. They could pull the range value a bit further in their favor, see if they can really sort of slow the roll of UTK, if you will. But at the same time, I think what's really just been so nice to see on the side of UTK is these, in that Mako match especially, the combination of the S-Blast and the Carbon with those burst bombs and the AoE are just so well able to play off of each other, and that's really helping this aggression get going as they start picking these fights. You can point one person out, say, hey, that person's 70, and those 2 burst bombs come in. And it's just able to lead to these pick after pick after pick.
Yes, certainly. And now, that Game 3, Terror Control on Minkamart, that was almost as classic map mode as you could get. Now we go, but now we're moving on to something a bit more unusual here as we're going to Rainmaker on Marlin Airport for this Game 4 coming up.
Oh boy, Rainmaker Marlin. Perhaps one of the most interesting map modes in the game, solely because you can't get back out of mid once you drop in until that first checkpoint is broken. So you gotta think really carefully about how you approach the objective at the start here.
Yeah, as we're looking in, I'm seeing it looks like Genie has switched to a backline with a bit more aggression in the form of the Nautilus. This is the one with the triple splash in as well. But on the side of UTK feeders, I see Dapple Dooley's Nouveau coming out along with the return of this Sploosh-o-matic.
The return of the sploosh. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Fanshawe has picked this Nautilus to try and up their own aggression, but it seems like UTK met them in the same point and said, they're probably going to do this. Let's increase our tempo too with these super short range, super mobile weapons as well. And those beacons, especially on Marlin, are going to be able to get these jumps in back into mid, and it's hard to clear them when you're stuck in spawn like Fanshawe is right now.
Yeah, for sure. Although some nice maneuvering by Genie is able to take out Nap and take out a beacon, but they are not quite able to take out Koreki, who's back on this Splatana Wiper once again, and now is threatening other members of Fanshawe. Down goes Siren. Down goes Siren. Warmerch is focused on the field, but Genie is able to take down Kreki as Dylan has the Booyah Bomb ready, throwing it ahead of the fan as they pop Rainmaker. Fanshawe is not quite gonna wait just a little bit before taking it, having Dylan raise the fan up. Then they're going to try to take the fight. Unfortunately, Dylan going down to Koreki there, and the splashdown not quite able to get the picks that they wanted, and that is a wipeout in favor of the UTK feeders, back in control of the Rainmaker and trying to further their lead.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see here, yep, already back on this court area in Fanshawe's spawn here. Got the reef slider ready, pushing even deeper in, getting that final check as cleared as it can be.
Yeah, getting them past just settling in past the goal marker, forcing Fanshawe to take a very defensive fight. They're one down already. Koreki just immediately throwing that hammer, just putting further pressure onto Fanshawe, who's trying to clear the path with the Booyah Bomb. Ultimately, the Rainmaker is able to get reset back to mid. Fanshawe having numbers advantage, and they do have their specials at the ready, which they're starting to deploy, but they're going to have to find Spec, who we're seeing hiding by the fan here, carefully placing beacons, and now is moving in, gets the jump onto Genie. Very well done flank by Spec there.
Yeah, I mean, talk about playing the long game. That is how you do it. Quiet, unsuspecting, put down a beacon while you're at it, right? But the Rainmaker not quite as far up as the rest of the team. It looks like we may be moving into more of a stall situation here. UTK was really pushing up quite far to try and get that KO earlier, but now that comfortable lead in their favor, and Fanshawe with no points on the board yet, just able to sit back here on the grate and wait for the team to come to them. But that splashdown is beautiful.
Oh my, Genie uses splashdown to get a double, gets another kill, gets another one, turning this into a quad there for Genie on this Nautilus. The improved aggression from Fanshawe's backline working out well for them here as Dylan throws in another Booyah Bomb to move in, forcing Koreki to jump out. And Fanshawe has the Rainmaker. They are starting to get points on the board. They immediately grab the near checkpoint point at the very least, forcing another member of UTK to jump away as they get the check in. Actually, never mind. They didn't get the checkpoint. Now they break through it. My mistake.
We can finally leave mid on both sides of the map. Praise me.
Yeah, and actually quite a strong push by Fanshawe, getting it all the way up to 34, though Warmush is that number there. Another member of Fanshawe going down as we're in the final minute. You got to think defense is going to have to be the name of the game here for UTK. I think they're going to want to take fights in mid, try to keep the Rainmaker back there as they can, and try not even to let Fanshawe get near the bubble. If that's what I'd want to do if I were UTK, but it looks like they are actually letting the Rainmaker reset as they're taking more space. They were able to win the fight, so now they can afford to do that.
Yeah, not even risking the chance of someone sneaking behind them. Just immediately going to reset that Rainmaker back into mid and just hold the Rainmaker there. Say, you're not going to take this any further, Fanshawe, bringing the game to a close.
Yeah, definitely. Another very well played game of aggression by the UTK feeders, but I love the effort we saw from Fanshawe there. So they're getting it from 100 to 34 pitch on one push late in the game. Unfortunate, it ultimately wasn't able to convert, but that was really well done, and that was started by this play we're seeing from Genie, starting with the splashdown, immediately getting the other pick, watching the jump coming in on the left, and working with their teammates to turn that into to turn the situation into a quad. It was a really well executed play, and while it ultimately came up short. I still think it's definitely a play play that warrants our attention.
Yeah, I mean, that play by itself that allowed this whole push to start, we brought that down to a 14-point difference between these two teams' pushes. And that is so incredible when you think about how long Fanshawe was locked out of actually accessing the objective. When they finally got that momentum in their favor, they were able to push it so far. And if it was not for that last kill on the S Blast, a little bit further of a walk up that uninkable ramp, that lead would have switched. It was that close.
Yeah, very well done game. Game, and I feel I mentioned that really shows the interesting dynamics brought by Marlin Airport Rainmaker in particular, as well, with pretty much having to get through the gauntlet that is mid.
Yeah, those fans can be a real annoyance when you are trying to get up and down, but Rainmaker takes it one step further, like we said, just says, you're not going to get to move the fans at all, at least until this first checkpoint gets cleared. And I mean, I think we got to see the map played fully out, you know? We had
Yeah.
both of them closed, we had the one checkpoint cleared, and then we had both checkpoints cleared, so we got to see it all. But we're going to be seeing something new here. Barnacle and Dime Clam Blitz coming up for these two teams. And it is match point for UTK feeders if this were a actual set. Again, just a quick reminder, this is an exhibition match. But looks like we're going to be getting into it here right now.
Yeah, certainly. And right away, I'm seeing. It looks like we're seeing double beacon being run by UTK feeders here, with Crucky switching wiper kits over to the Deco, and the Neosploosh is returning as well. So if I'm Fanshawe, I'm keeping a rapid eye out for those beacons. Even one well placed beacon can be so powerful, and you're having to deal with two beacon setters right now.
Yeah, no kidding. And on top of double beacon, we're also seeing double global range special in that Tenta missiles and the killer whale on those same two weapons. Really just being able to say, you're not going to be able to stop us from getting back in. And when we're rolling, there is nowhere you can hide. But able to stop that push pretty early on, not quite breaking the 60-point barrier.
Um, yeah, definitely good defense by Fanshawe. Unfortunately, going two down there. Also, we saw as we see, Dylan here is getting some good mileage out of a new weapon pick for this exhibition in the Order Roller replica coming in. But UTK is able to sneak one more score in, but the fuel are able to converge on the members of UTK and get the wipeout out, and the feeders have still not crossed the 60-point threshold. A 2-power clam push can flip this lead in favor of Fanshawe if they're able to pull it off.
Yeah, they've got one power clam right now, and before the shot went down, they were looking at a second, but one after another, Fanshawe's going to be going down here. Dylan trying to put up that last bit of resistance there, but only managing to get the trade. And it's just a slow march from UTK, getting closer and closer to this basket. You can see right there, the jump-ins to these beacons make it so hard to retake space if you're Fanshawe.
Again, I'm still just totally fascinated by this UTK comp. I mean, I don't remember the last time I've seen a double beacon comp.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a single beacon comp.
Yeah, well, if there's a mode for beacons, I feel Clamblitz is where they probably shine at their best.
Yeah, you've already got so much to worry about. The clams, the positioning, the special economy. Now you're adding beacons into the mix. They could be anywhere. It is rough. And UTK is really putting them to good use. Once again, finding themselves at this basket. And 60-point barrier is nothing. They're moving past the 30. And Fanshawe able to stop that power clam from going in. That could have been truly devastating.
Yeah, that was a big save. Although Fanshawe now has a lot of points they have to score if they want to flip the lead. There. That was the big break UTK has been waiting for. As we're seeing all the members are messed up pretty close together as Genie is holding the single power clam in mid. Looks like they're giving Simon a jump here, but they have to contend with a Wiper rushing towards them as well as the killer whale, followed by the 52 gal moving in and following it up with its famous two-shot. Fanshawe getting another power clam right under. I mean UTK. My mistake again. I can't talk today. Getting it right under their basket. Hoping to chip through the penalty, but and it looks like they do, thanks to Koreki winning that battle and being able to take down Dylan with those Wiper swings as well. The score's down to 7. The 10 missiles are popped, and that will do it here as the UTK feeders had a bit of a slow march at the beginning, as you said, Okamu, but then they were just able to break the game wide open in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, good job to UTK really showing up even after that unfortunate forfeit that we saw at the very start of the stream here today. But I'd actually like to bring it back around to Fanshawe for a bit, because I think on their push we really saw something really good in their paint control of mid when they were finally able to break into it was so good, but they really just struggled to break through that plat area on the opponent's side of Barnacle. And I have to wonder exactly why. You've just got these, between the Gal, the Blaster, the Wiper, the Sploosh, even, there's these highly mobile weapons. I wonder if it was just a little bit too difficult to keep up the pacing when we were worried about all of that paint, even though that control was so good.
Yeah, it could also be with UTK's beacons. They really had to keep an eye out on possible flanks, possible defensive beacons, allowing easy jumps and repositioning by the feeders. And as you were talking about earlier, those two global specials with the killer whale and the 10 missiles just being able to add to the chaos there.
Yeah, I mean, seeing 10 missiles come down into your spawn as it's already the opponent's color, that is a heartbreaking feeling. I've been there. We've all been there, I think, at
Yeah,
one point or another in this game.
as a backline player myself, I see those 10 missiles in my nightmares sometimes.
Yeah, thank goodness for the cooldown, right?
Yeah, and despite the unfortunate forfeit that had happened, this exhibition was a lot of fun, but we still have some excitement in store for you here at the CCA. This exhibition is wrapping up now as we're getting ready for our next match, which will begin in a few minutes. It's a Division 1 match we are seeing between some two longtime storied CCA teams in PSU Blue and Drexel Dragons.
That's going to be a great match to watch. I wish I
Definitely.
could watch it myself, but I've got a CCA match to play myself, so I'm going to have to get out of here pretty quickly. But it was a blast to commentate, and to you guys watching, these next matches are going to be great, so make sure you stick around.
Yes, absolutely. And where can the people find you online, Okamu? Feel
You
free to
can
give yourself a
find
little plug
me.
here.
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky. I do a bit of streaming on Twitch myself with the exact same handle. What about you, Cygnus?
Yeah, you can also find me on Blue Sky linked right down here, and you can find me doing commentary here on there on the CCA on the CCA channel, occasionally on the podcast, and otherwise hanging around in the server as well.
Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun here. very fun exhibition here between a veteran team in UTK feeders and the brand new to the CCA Fanshawe Fuel. Both teams showing up. Both teams definitely showing what they had to offer, and this was a really fun time. Glad you were able to join us, and stay tuned for that for this very exciting upcoming Division 1 match coming up.